guys, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, I'm TashaAna.Nicole, and today guys I'm going to be telling you a story time. And the story that I'm going to be telling you guys today is a time that I got so pissed off and blacked out and I fought my little brother. But if you guys want to hear this crazy story, just stay tuned and keep on watching. Guys, so to begin this story, I was around the age of 19 and my younger brother, he was 13, and we were at home one weekend. And I was in my bedroom getting ready to like go out with some of my girlfriends or whatever. And I was in the restroom straightening out my hair, doing my makeup, and my two brothers were in the room and they were playing this video game. And usually when they would play video games together, guys, they would always end up in an argument. Like Jonathan would start busting Ricardo's balls, and Ricardo would get so pissed off if he was losing, and they would just talk shit to each other. So when I was in the restroom getting ready, like Jonathan started, busting Ricardo's balls. Like I guess Jonathan was winning at this point, whatever game they were playing. And Ricardo was just getting so fucking mad. Like he was getting super pissed. And I was in the bathroom, like, laughing and, laughing at them pretty much because I'm like, why do y'all always end up in an argument? And then sometimes I would even ask myself, like, why would y'all even play the game if you know, like, one of y'all is going to be mad with one another and y'all are going to just end up not talking to each other for the rest of the day. So I don't know what my younger brother has said to Jonathan, but I remember that he ended up saying, you better shut up before I tell Tasha what really happened to her headphones. And to give you guys just a little bit of a backstory, prior to the weekend, that whole week before, I was looking for these headphones that I had recently bought. And I had tore up my entire bedroom, like looking for these headphones. I thought maybe I left it at school or I lost it. Like maybe I left it at my job, all these crazy things. But like prior to that day, that whole week I had been looking for my headphones. And I even asked like my mom and my dad, had they seen them? I asked my brothers. They played stupid and act like they didn't know what the hell I was talking about. They're like, we don't know what headphones you're talking about. We haven't even seen you with these headphones. So I was like getting pissed that whole week. Like, I'm like, I just bought these fucking headphones. Like, how the fuck did they go missing this quick? Like, and me personally, guys, when it came to like my personal stuff, like, my headphones, my iPod, my cell phone, like I was not the type of person that would like lose these things or misplace them or anything like that. Every time, like I always knew where I left my stuff at. So it was just crazy to me how these headphones were missing. So when my brother made that comment, I instantly put my straightener down and I was like, what are you talking about, Jonathan? Like, obviously you guys did know what headphones I was talking about. And when I asked him about it, he kept smiling and just laughing. And he's like, no, I was just joking, Tasha. Like, I was just joking. And I was like, nah, like, I already know you. Like, my brothers, they had a tendency, like, when they knew one another's secrets or they knew that they had took something of mine or whatever, and they didn't want to let me know whatever, but when the other person would get mad at them, then that's when they would say like, oh yeah, I know about this or I know about that. So I already knew, like, my brother Jonathan knew something. Like, he knew where those headphones were, or he knew what happened to them. So I kept asking him, like, what are you talking about? Like, Ricardo, did you take my headphones? And Ricardo was like, no, I don't know what Jonathan's talking about. He just said that to make you mad. And I was like, bullshit. Like, y'all know something. Like, y'all need to just tell me the truth now. Because I'm like, y'all know I've been looking for those damn headphones for a whole week straight. And y'all had me tear the whole house apart knowing that one of you guys have them. Like, if y'all have them, just give me my shit back and it'll be done with. So I see, like, at the time, okay, so in our bedroom, I was sharing a bedroom with my brother Jonathan. And we had two separate, like, our own separate bed. My brother was sitting on, I believe he was sitting on one of the beds, but like, I think he was sitting on my bed. And Ricardo was sitting on the other bed while they were playing the game. And I was still standing in the restroom, like by the door. And so I kept looking at both of them and I'm like, I know y'all know something. Like, just tell me where the hell is my shit. And Jonathan kept laughing. Like, he kept laughing, and what was making me even more mad. And like, honestly, guys, when I was younger, I had a badass temper. And sometimes when I would get too mad or like super fucking mad, I'd sometimes black out. And so I was like just sitting there and I can feel my like legs starting to shake. And like I already knew like when my legs started to shake, I knew I was like getting pissed. Like, so I had asked them one more time and I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, where the hell is my headphones? Like, you know something. Like, I know you know something. And I knew at this time, like Jonathan had to have known like I was getting mad or whatever, because I literally saw like he was sitting on my bed and like kind of like in the middle of my bed, but I started to see him kind of like inching his way towards towards the front of the bed. And I was like, "So what's up? Like, are y'all gonna tell me what happened to my headphones or not?" Like, and Jonathan kept laughing and Ricardo kind of just kept like ignoring me a little bit. Still, they were still playing the game at the same time. So I don't know what happened, but I guess Jonathan just got tired of me asking, like, where the fuck is my headphones? I know y'all know something. You already said, like, you know, Ricardo did something with it. Just tell me. And I believe, I can't really remember exactly what Jonathan said that pissed me off. I think he said, like, I think he ended up saying, like, oh, Ricardo took your headphones and lost them. And when he said that to me, y'all, like I literally like got so fucking pissed off. And me and Ricardo started arguing back and forth. Like I was arguing with him. I was like, why the fuck did you take my shit? I was like, and then on top of that, you didn't even tell me about it. And you knew I've been looking everywhere around this house for it. And you let me look for days looking stupid when you knew the whole time you had my shit and you lost it. And I do not know what Ricardo said, but knowing Ricardo, Ricardo had a smart ass mouth when we were younger, y'all. Like, and still to this day, I'm not even gonna lie, he has a smart ass mouth now. But he would always say things to me that would piss me off so bad, y'all. And I would be like, nah, like this little motherfucker is not gonna talk to me like that. Because it was crazy to me, y'all, because when me and my other brother Jonathan used to get into arguments, and me and him are just like 1 year apart, we would get into badass arguments to that would sometimes lead me and him fighting as well. And I don't know what it was. Like I think me and Jonathan, when we were younger, we would bump heads a lot more than me and Ricardo did. So I was always fighting. The only brother that I was really fist fighting with was Jonathan. Like, you know, I would hit him or he would hit me and we'd just be fighting sometimes. Like I remember there was a couple times where like we were even having parties at the house with like family members over, and we were in the fucking kitchen like fighting and shit. But it just was like crazy to me, like how sometimes like I would never like want to put my hands on Ricardo, but with Jonathan it was like, oh, I don't give a fuck, like we're the same age, who cares, right? So like I said, we were arguing and I don't know, Ricardo must have said something smart as fuck to piss me off. And all I remember is I like started to like kind of charge at his ass, like to like get ready to hit his ass. And I remember just running towards him, and I ran towards him and I just started pounding, pounding, pounding. And I remember like just kept hitting and hitting. And I felt my hand hitting something. I don't know if I was hitting him in his head. I don't know if I was punching him in his back. I don't know what. At that point, guys, like I said, I blacked out. I don't remember exactly what I was hitting. But all of a sudden, I'm hearing, Tasha, chill. Tasha, chill. And I was all like, what the fuck? And he's like, Tasha, you're hitting me. You're hitting me. And y'all, it was the craziest thing. Like, I guess like when I heard that, like I kind of snapped back and I like kind of like stopped punching, like, you know, and I looked down, like, and Jonathan was on top of my little brother Ricardo. And apparently, like I said, when I ran towards Ricardo to charge him, like I said, Jonathan already knew I was getting pissed. Jonathan like kind of threw himself on top of my little brother. And I didn't even realize that, y'all. Like literally when I was fighting him, like I did not realize it. I did not know. I didn't even know that Jonathan had even got up. Like in the back of my mind, I'm still thinking that Jonathan's like behind me and I'm literally punching the shit out of my little brother. And when I finally got up, like I saw that Jonathan was like, his whole body was on top of Ricardo. So Ricardo was like under Jonathan and kind of like in like holding his head in like a fetal position and shit. And I remember Jonathan was like rubbing the back of his head, and he's like, "What the fuck, Tasha? Like, you were punching the shit out of me, like out of the back of my head." And I was like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't even know you got up." I'm like, "I'm so fucking sorry." And when he finally got off of my little brother, like my little brother was still on the floor, and I could see Ricardo's face, like he was so red in the face, and I could tell like he was clenched, like he looks just like my dad, y'all, and he has a temper just like my dad as well. So when my dad gets mad, like my dad tends to like clench his jaw, and like you can see like his jawline. So when Ricardo was getting up, like I already knew Ricardo was pissed, because he was like, I could tell like his face was red, he was clenching his jaw, like, and I immediately, y'all, I felt so bad, because that was like the first time I've ever in my life ever had put my hands on my little brother like that. Like I said, I used to only fight my brother Jonathan. And kid you not, guys, my brother is 6 years younger than me, so I felt so bad. So when he got up, I like immediately started saying, Ricardo, like, I'm sorry, like I didn't mean to like charge you, like. And I was even kind of trying to make a little joke about it, because I was like, I didn't even hit you, like Jonathan was on top of you, like I hit Jonathan. And he's like, nah, you did hit me, you were hitting me too. And he started to walk out of the room, and I was like following him like behind, and I was like, Ricardo, like I'm so sorry, like, I didn't mean to hit you, like I'm sorry, like I just got mad, like. And y'all, he went into the kitchen, and when he went into the kitchen, I don't know if he was just trying to walk away from me because he was super mad, and he just didn't want to see how mad, he didn't want me to see how mad he was, or that I hurt his feelings or whatever. But I still followed him into the kitchen, and he literally started to bawl, y'all. Like when I mean bawl, like he was crying his eyes out, like I just stole his best friend, or I told him he couldn't fucking play with me no more, or whatever. But as soon as I started to see tears come down his face, y'all. I felt so bad. Like I was like, Ricardo, I'm so sorry. I'm like, don't be mad at me. I'm like, I didn't mean to hit you. I was like, I just got mad. And he was just looking at me like with this hate in his eyes, and he just was pissed, y'all. And like he kept crying. He's like, nah, Tasha, get the fuck off me. He's like, don't touch me. And like I was trying to like hug him and tell him that I was sorry, and he kept like pushing me off of him, y'all. And he's like, fuck you, Tasha, like I fucking hate you, I hate you. And guys, like the moment he said that to me, like my heart broke so bad. Like I felt so bad for my little brother. Like even thinking about it right now, I kind of want to cry. Like, I love you, Ricardo. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, it literally like made me start crying, and I was like, I started crying, Ricardo kept crying, Jonathan was standing right there laughing his ass off, like laughing at me. He's like, why the fuck are you crying now? And Jonathan just thought the shit was funny. And I like, I was trying to like make a little joke about it, but I knew I really hurt my little brother's feelings, because like I said, me and Ricardo, we were so close when we were younger. Like especially like the older Jonathan got, Jonathan started having his own friends, and like, hanging out with his older friends. So, Ricardo couldn't really like follow behind him like when he was like a kid, like, So me and Ricardo kind of started getting closer, and as like he got older, our relationship did start to change a little bit, only because like, he's a boy, like he was a young teenager, and I was 19 years old at the time. I thought like, I sometimes acted like probably like his mom or whatever, but there was times where like he didn't want to listen to what I was saying, and his fucked up attitude would like fuck up, or he would always be like rude, or like when I would tell him to do something, he would always respond in a rude ass attitude. So when he was crying in the kitchen, and he was like telling me that he hates me and he's never gonna talk to me again, like I really felt bad, and I believed him. Like I kind of believed that he was like, damn, I'm like, I fucked up. I'm like, my little brother's never gonna talk to me again. And y'all, like I felt so bad. Like he literally did not talk to me for the rest of the day. Like I remember my mom ended up coming back home from work, and he still wasn't talking to me. um And I kept trying, like, that whole day, like that whole rest of the day, I kept trying to talk to him. I ended up not even going out either. Like, I ended up not going out with my friends because I felt so bad. And like, I don't know, like, I felt so bad and I felt so guilty for like hitting him and like making him cry like that. And it just like made me feel really shitty about myself because I was all like, you're his older sister. You're not supposed to be like putting your hands on him like that, you know? Even though I've like, and what is crazy, guys, like when I would fight Jonathan like that, I would never feel that guilty. And maybe it was because Jonathan would never cry. Like, I don't think me and him, our fights ever led to any one of us crying, except one time. I think is when I hit him really hard. He like got mad and he did cry a little, but not even like, you know, like me and Jonathan were the same age. Like we would fight all the time and then we would get over it and we would be talking that day again. But Ricardo was a whole different story. Like when he got mad that day, like I said, he didn't talk to me for the rest of the day. My mom kind of knew something went up. My mom knew something was up because like she's all like, you and Ricardo just ain't talking at like how y'all usually do. Like, you know, the house seems so serious. But I was honestly scared as well because I literally thought my little brother was gonna tell my mom. Like, I'm like, this little motherfucker's gonna go. Like, he's so mad right now. He's definitely gonna go tell my mom that I hit him earlier today and then I put my hands on him. And my mom was the type of person that even though those were her boys, she didn't play about her boys. She kind of babies my brothers a lot. So I was just all like, please, please don't go and tell my mom. Like, if you go and tell mom, like, that's it for me. Like, she's probably going to say that I can't go out the next day or whatever. And luckily for me, my little brother did not end up telling my mom anything, but I did get the silent treatment for a long time. Like, Ricardo was stuck, like, especially when he gets mad, y'all, and he's set in his ways. Like I said, he's just like my dad. He will not get out of that attitude until he's good and ready. Like, so I just kind of stayed, like, I stayed clear from him. I didn't push him as much. I believe maybe like a couple of days later is when he started talking to me again. And I did apologize to him again after that. And he accepted my apology. He ended up telling me that he really doesn't hate me, that he still loved me. But it just, that was the first and last time, guys, I think I ever fought any of my brothers. Like, I think after fighting with Ricardo, I don't think I ever got into another altercation, not even with Jonathan. Like, I could be lying, you know, I could be like, my memory is like, whew, but I believe that was the last fight I ever got into with my brothers. Like, don't get me wrong, to this day, I still sometimes argue with them, but it's not been that bad to where we're like, we want to put hands on one another. Like, it was just a lot. Like having him to be that mad with me and that angry, like it just didn't make me feel good. Like, and especially that Ricardo has like the sweetest heart. Like he always wants to be there for people and is always so sweet, especially when he was younger, y'all. Like when my little brother was younger, he used to sometimes follow me around and like always want to be around me. So it just made me feel like real, like it made me feel like shit, y'all. It made me feel like shit that I made my brother hate me that bad, or just even for a split second for him to even say that he hated me. I think to this day, like, no one has ever said that to me. Ricardo has only been the only person that has said that to me. And those words kind of like stuck and like I felt them deep, like deep within. Like, so I just, like I said, like I never, after that, guys, I never put my hands on Ricardo again. I tried to really control my anger. Like I said, when I was younger, I had a bad, fucked up attitude as well. I used to think that I used to know everything. I hated when people used to try to tell me things, especially when they used to try to tell me things about myself. Like, don't tell me anything about myself. Don't tell me anything about how fucked up my attitude is. Like, I already know I have a fucked up attitude. I don't need you telling me. So I just like I said, I just had to work on myself and I'm glad that I did because like now, yeah, don't get me wrong, there are times where I do get mad now, but my anger is nothing like it was when I was a kid. Nothing like it was when I was a kid. Like, I was quick to, like, if a bitch said anything to me or said the wrong thing to me, I was quick to say, "What's up? Like, you have a problem? Like, we can fix that." So that's why I'm just like super grateful that, like, my brothers, me and my two brothers, our relationship is solid. Like, we have good relationship with each other. I talk to my brothers like every day, if not every day, every other day. So that's just how it ended up happening. But luckily, like I said, my little brother did end up forgiving me. He did end up telling me that he was sorry for saying that he hated me. And we ended up just having a good weekend after that. But I'm just super grateful that he just forgave me and he continued to love me as his older sister. But all right, you guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And since you're already here, go ahead and hit that post notification bell down below so you guys get notified anytime I drop a new video. Till next time, peace.